Department of Corrections.
May I speak with Robert Tracy, the probation officer for Kyle Ward Chambers, please?
Officer Tracy is not.
Request a copy of a report from the Central Records Department. Press 1.
One moment, please. Records Department?
Yes, my name is Todd. I'm looking for an arrest report on an individual. Can you tell me how I can go about obtaining that?
Do you have the person's date of birth?
Yes, I do. Hang on here. Okay, their date of birth is June 12th, 1990.
Okay. And who am I looking for?
Kyle Ward Chambers. Okay, how do I obtain a copy of that report?
I can email it to you. What's a good email?
Oh, great.
Okay, I'll go and work on that, and you should see it by 5 o'clock.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
I'm here with Robert Tuttle and Todd Ferguson of the Reasons Files blog. Robert, can you give us an update on the Patrick Boyle, Jonathan Shelley, Kyle Chambers situation?
Yes, we'd be happy to. When Pastor Boyle was asked if he had a pedophile attending his church, he refused to say either yes or no. Instead, he stuck with, "I don't answer questions about who goes to our church." Of course, this makes it sound as if he has little to no concern for the safety of children in his church, placing the privacy of a pedophile over the safety of children and the concerns of their parents, or their desire to keep their children safe. The best he could come up with was, "Come and visit us and see for yourself." This is like that old ABBA song from the 1970s, "Take a chance on me." But is it worth it to gamble on the safety of our children, to take a chance on Pastor Boyle and Revival Baptist Church, just on the off chance that the pedophile he has attending there won't be tempted to molest our children, or any children for that matter?
Is Kyle Chambers a member of your church down there in Orlando?
I'm sorry, who am I speaking with?
My name is Todd.
Oh, I see. And what was the question again?
Is this Pastor Boyle?
Yes, this is Pastor Boyle.
Okay, Pastor Boyle. Is Kyle Chambers a member of your church in Orlando or in Jacksonville?
What's the reason for the question?
Well, I mean, it's come to our attention that he was convicted in a court of law on child molestation charges, specifically lewd and lascivious acts upon a child under 12 years old.
Right. I don't share church membership with strangers. I mean, if you have an interest in the church, yeah, that'd be great. Come on over.
Right.
You know, we're a closed church. So.
Well,
you know,
okay.
We handle sin. We hate sin. We hate wickedness. We stand for truth. But, you know, when it comes to the church issues, they're church issues. That's exactly what they are. Come give us a visit. That'd be the best thing.
Okay, and you can't confirm if Mr. Chambers is a member of either church. Is that correct?
I'm not going to discuss anything concerning church matters. Whether they are or whether they aren't, that's you. For you, draw your own conclusion. You know, we've handled each matter that comes before us. We handle it according to the Bible. Our church membership is happy with the way things are going. So it's irrelevant what you think or the questions you may have.
Okay.
Unless you want to be a part of the church, come on in.
Okay, hey, thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Is it safe to place an alcoholic in a bar and trust him not to drink? Is it safe to place a cocaine addict in a crack house and trust him not to use any drugs? Well, of course not. So, you know, is it any safer to allow a self-confessed and convicted pedophile around a bunch of children and trust him not to molest any of them? We made some very public and very damning statements about Jonathan Shelley and Patrick Boyle and their involvement in covering up for pedophiles. Before going public with these statements, we reached out to both Boyle and Shelley to get their responses and their comments regarding these statements. And we gave them every opportunity to deny and or challenge these statements. Boyle's response was to offer a non-response consisting of take a chance on me. Shelley's response was just to hang up the phone as soon as I called him without even bothering to take the opportunity to deny or challenge or offer any kind of defense or even listen to what I wanted to say. Their responses, really at the end of the day, are not much different than an admission to the truthfulness of the statements that we made. Since going public with this information, we have received not one single legitimate challenge to the statements we made about Shelley and Boyle and their covering up for child molesters. Not one single attempt to refute or even deny what we've claimed. A few new IFB supporters called us names and insulted us, as is common with the new IFB. That's what they do when they're exposed or their unbiblical practices and unbiblical doctrines are exposed. But neither Shelley, nor Boyle, nor Anderson, nor Ben the Baptist, nor Jeff Utzler, nor any of them offered a single denial of the charges against them, nor even a single refutation of any of our claims. Now, initially, we believed the third man to enter the casinos with Ben the Baptist and Jeff Utzler was Joe Weakim. We knew there was a third man. Stephen Anderson clearly stated there was a third man during his Stephen Anderson Uncensored call-in program. And when we asked Ben and Jeff if Joe Weakim was the third man, they were adamant that he was not. In fact, even Joe Weakim himself chimed in and stated that he was at work and was unable to go. But in spite of all their denials, they would not reveal who that third man actually was. They were only quick to say who it wasn't. However, when we named Kyle Chambers, the convicted pedophile, as the third man, suddenly both Ben and Jeff became uncharacteristically quiet, not a peep from them. Where they have always been quick to correct us and say who the third man was not, now suddenly they don't say a word when we name Kyle Chambers as the third man, the one that was sent into the casinos to ostensibly hold them accountable for their time there. For Jonathan Shelley to initially just gloss over the child molestation at Steadfast Fort Worth and then turn around and, as an investigation, his investigation consists of questioning the molester, and the molester says, nope, wasn't me. So his response is immediately to believe the molester and just go off on the family whose child was molested, malign them from the pulpit, ostracize them, just castigate them, call them names, call them liars, accuse them of railing and making false accusations, and then kick them out of the church, going through this whole theatrical performance after they had voluntarily left the church because of his refusal to do anything about it. And now we have Patrick Boyle, who for all intents and purposes has, well, I won't say he has admitted that Kyle Chambers attends his church, but at the same time, his statements certainly make it sound as if he does, and he certainly never denied it. His response was, come take a chance. Just take a chance. Bring your kids, come to the church, and find out for yourself if we have a molester here. And it reminds me very much of what Scripture says. Jesus himself said in Matthew 18, 5-7, and whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. And down in verse 10, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. And the Apostle Paul talks about similar things. Something similar that would apply to this in covering up for a pedophile in your church, allowing them to molest children, as Pastor Shelley did, not protecting potential visitors by refusing to say there's a pedophile in your church. The Apostle Paul says in Romans 1, verses 28 through 32, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. How many of those things sound like child molesters, filled with all unrighteousness, wickedness, maliciousness, murder, malignity, inventors of evil things, unmerciful, without natural affection? Verse 32, whoever knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Todd, would you like to add anything?
It has regularly been Stephen Anderson's policy that child molesters are reprobate, they're unable to obtain salvation, and all sorts of stuff. Interesting enough that Kyle Chambers was the man holding Ben and Jeff accountable in the casino bar. Furthermore, Kyle Chambers was a loyal member of Steadfast Jacksonville. Kyle Chambers and Ben the Baptist had been soul winning before, also obviously to the casino bar, and Ben the Baptist, Jeff Utzler, and Kyle Chambers have all been loyal henchmen of Stephen Anderson. There's a lot going on within the churches of Steadfast and Revival Baptist Church. Many issues need to be addressed. Stephen Anderson has failed to address any issues. We are still waiting for Anderson to reply. Once again, our calls to Jonathan Shelley results in him hanging up, not addressing the issues. That should raise serious concern and is very alarming, very disturbing. Furthermore, I'd like to just quickly address the people of Steadfast Oklahoma, Steadfast Fort Worth, Revival Baptist Church in Jacksonville and Orlando by supporting Jonathan Shelley or Patrick Boyle, who are, in all appearances, covering up for child molesters. That should weigh heavily on your minds. That should cause great concern. And that concludes my comments. Thank you.